AI is leaving the earth. A revolution nobody saw is coming. Imagine this: a world where your phone, your car, your home, your job, even your country's security all depend on something floating thousands of kilometers above your head. Not just satellites, but AI powered machines in space. Thinking, learning, making decisions without any human control. A silent revolution has already begun, and most people have no idea. Today, we are going to uncover the real reasons. Why the biggest AI giants, Google, Amazon, SpaceX, OpenAI, Nvidia, are suddenly obsessed with the space? This is not science fiction. This is the future, and it's bigger than we think. Every big revolution starts with a clue. The Industrial Revolution started with steam engines. The Internet Revolution started with cables laid under the ocean. The smartphone revolution started with touchscreens. And the next revolution. The clue is above our skies. In the last 3 years, tech companies have quietly launched thousands of satellites. Not for GPS, not for television, not even just for internet. These satellites are becoming something else entirely. They are becoming space computers, missions designed to run AI models directly from the orbit. SpaceX has launched over 5,000 Starlink satellites. Amazon is planning Project Kuiper with 3,236 satellites. Even China is building its own mega constellation. But here's what nobody is talking about. These are not just communication satellites anymore. They are AI processors floating in space. But the question is why? Why do they want AI in space? The answer will surprise you because it's not just one reason. It's six interconnected reasons that together reveal a future most people have not even imagined it. Reason 1: Data, the fuel of AI. AI survives on one thing: data, and space gives the largest, richest, most powerful data possible. Think about it. Every second, satellites are capturing climate patterns, ocean temperatures, farm crop health, traffic movement in cities, military activity, disaster warnings, etc. But here's the problem with ground based data collection: it's limited, it's expensive, and it's slow. AI companies realize something shocking. Earth cannot give enough data fast enough. Traditional cameras, sensors, ground stations, they can only see small pieces of the puzzle. But space gives you the entire planet all at once, every single second. Right now, there are satellites taking images so detailed they can identify the individual cars on the highways. AI algorithms analyze this data to predict the traffic jams before they happen, detecting illegal fishing boats in the middle of the ocean, monitor deforestation in the Amazon in real time, and even predict where wildfires might start based on the vegetation dryness. The European Space Agency's Copernicus program generates 150 terabytes of Earth's observation data every single day. That's more than a human could analyze in 1,000 lifetimes. But AI processes it in hours. That's why AI needs space. Because the data from space is infinite, uninterrupted, and incredibly valuable. Reason 2: Global connectivity. Your AI assistant, your apps, your cloud storage, all of it needs internet. But here's a fact most people don't realize: nearly half of the world's population still does not have reliable internet access. Traditional internet infrastructure is slow, uneven, and incredibly expensive to build. Laying fiber optical cables across oceans costs billions. Building cell towers in remote areas is not profitable. So, AI giants decided to solve this problem from above. SpaceX already proved it works with Starlink. In Ukraine, when ground infrastructure was destroyed during the war, Starlink satellites kept critical communications running. In remote islands of Pacific, people who never had internet suddenly got connected through space. Now, Amazon is building Project Kuiper. Google is testing AI cloud services delivered directly from satellites. Why? Because if AI companies control the internet layer, they control everything that runs on it. Imagine this future. Every village, every forest, every desert, every ship in the ocean, all connected. Every device, every machine, every sensor talking to the satellite overhead. No cables needed, no towers required, just direct connection to space. This will make AI everywhere instantly. Your car won't need to wait for cell tower. It will communicate directly with the satellites. Your smartphone, your wearables, everything will have instant global connectivity. This is not just about faster internet. This is about making AI truly omnipresent. Reason 3, processing AI in orbit. Now, here's where it gets really interesting. Right now, satellites collect data, send it down to Earth, where it gets processed in massive data centers, and then responses go back up. This round trip takes time, sometimes minutes, sometimes hours. But what if a cyclone is forming and you need to warn coastal cities immediately? What if a military convoy is moving and the defense systems need to respond? What if a forest fire is starting and every second counts? You can't wait for data to travel back and forth. That's why AI giants are developing something revolutionary: Edge AI in space. These are satellites that don't just collect data. They think, they analyze, they make decisions on their own in real time without sending anything to Earth. NASA is already testing this with Aegis technology on Mars Perseverance rover. The rover identifies interesting rocks on its own and decided what to study without waiting 26 minutes of instructions from Earth. Now, imagine the same capability on thousands of satellites orbiting Earth. A satellite detects unusual patterns in ocean temperature that indicate a developing tsunami. It does not send data to Earth and wait. It processes the information immediately, calculates the risks, and triggers warning systems automatically. All of this happens in seconds, not minutes. Planet Labs, a satellite imaging company, is already using AI to identify changes on Earth's surface automatically. Maxar Technologies use machine learning to analyze satellite imagery for disaster response. This is just the beginning. The future is satellites that acts as independent AI agents, constantly watching, learning and responding without human intervention. Reason 4, the energy and heat problem. Here's a problem nobody talks about. AI models are becoming huge. Training GPT-4 reportedly required around 25,000 high-end GPU running for months. The electricity consumption was equivalent to powering a small city. And it's getting worse. Each new generation of AI is larger, more complex, more powerful, but also more hungry for energy. Some data centers consume so much electricity that they require dedicated power plants. The heat generated is so extreme that companies use millions of gallons of water for cooling. Microsoft's data centers in Arizona use millions of liters of water every year. Google's data centers account for about 0.1% of global electricity consumption. As the AI grows, this becomes unsustainable. But in space, the equation completely changes. Infinite solar energy available 24 hours a day, with no clouds, no night, no seasons. And the temperature in the shadow of Earth, it drops to minus 100 degrees Celsius. Free unlimited cooling. Many scientists and engineers now believe that future AI supercomputers will be placed in the orbit, powered directly by the sun. The European Space Agency has already proposed the Solaris project, a space-based solar power station. China announced plans to build an orbital solar power facility by 2030. Imagine AI data centers floating in space. No land usage, no water consumption, no carbon emissions, no electricity bill. Just pure solar power and the cold vacuum for space for cooling. This could make AI grow 10 times, maybe 100 times faster than it can be on Earth. This is not speculation. Companies are actively researching this right now. Reason 5. Space is the new geopolitical weapon. Countries have always fought for land, for resources, for strategic positions. But now, the new battlefield is space, and AI is the weapon. Whoever controls satellites, space, internet, orbital intelligence, and AI powered surveillance systems controls the future. This is why the United States, China, Russia, India, and Europe are investing hundreds of billions into the space technology. In 2021, Russia tested an anti satellite weapon by destroying one of its own satellites, creating thousands of pieces of dangerous debris. China has demonstrated the ability to maneuver satellites close to other nations' spacecraft. The US Space Force was created specifically to protect American interests in orbit. But here's what really happening. AI makes space work completely different. Traditional military thinking does not work in the space. Satellites move at 28,000 kilometers per hour. Human reaction time is useless at those speeds. Only AI can detect threats, calculate responses, and take action into the milliseconds available. This is why defense departments worldwide are partnering with AI companies. Palantir works with the US military on satellite data analysis. China's military civil fusion strategy explicitly combines AI companies with space programs. India's Defense Space Agency is developing AI powered satellite networks. AI companies see this clearly because governments will depend on them for intelligence, for defense, for strategic advantage. This is not just about technology anymore. This is about power. Economic power, military power, the power to know everything happening on Earth in real time. Reason 6. $1 trillion economy. Space is no longer just about rockets and astronauts. Space is now business, big business. The global space economy was worth approximately $630 billion in 2023, but analysts predict it will reach $1.8 trillion by 2035, and AI will unlock most of this growth. This is about space mining. Think about space mining. There are asteroids in our solar system containing more platinum, gold, and rare earth metals than exist on the Earth. But how do you find them? How do you navigate to them? How do you extract resources autonomously millions of kilometers from Earth? That's AI. Think about moon missions. NASA's programs aims to establish a permanent lunar base, but running base on the moon where communication delays make real-time control impossible. You need AI systems that can operate independently, make decisions, solve problems without human oversight. Think about Mars colonialization. SpaceX wants to send humans to Mars by 2030. But a Mars colony can't depend on instructions from Earth. The communication delay is up to 22 minutes one way. Every single system, from life support to resource management to construction, will need AI autonomy. When humanity expands beyond Earth, AI will be the brain, guiding everything. Tech giants don't want to miss this $1 trillion opportunity. That's why they are investing now. That's why AI and space are merging. The deeper truth is AI can't stay on Earth. But here's the part most people don't understand, the deepest reason behind all of this. AI giants believe Earth cannot handle the next generation of artificial intelligence. The energy requirements are reaching the planetary limits. The computing power needed is exceeding what ground infrastructure can provide. The heat generated threatens to overwhelm the cooling systems. The data processing demands are becoming too massive for Earth-based networks. To go beyond these limits, AI must leave Earth. This is not optional, it is necessary. Some futurists even believe we will see orbital AI within next 20 years. Artificial intelligence systems that exist entirely in space, never touching Earth's surface. That's why AI and space are merging. Not because it's interesting, not because it's profitable, though it is, but because space is the only place big enough, cold enough, powerful enough for the future of AI. Earth was just the beginning, the training ground, but the next evolution of AI will happen above our heads. So, the next time you look at the night sky, remember this: those tiny dots of light you see, some of them are not stars, they are AI brains orbiting our planet, watching, learning, predicting, connecting, making decisions that affect your life without you ever knowing. We are living in the early chapters of a new era, the era where AI leaves Earth, where AI becomes interplanetary, where space is not the final frontier but the beginning of a new one. The future is bigger than we think, much bigger, and it has already begun.